1-800-449-8686. Now, Phil Hendry.
I am joined by the president of the Western States Homeowners Association and the president of the Western States PTO, Bobby Dooley, on grad night tonight, right, Bobby?
Yes, so we are with our seniors, graduating seniors from Western States High.
And where are you, at Six Flags?
We are. We're at Magic Mountain, and the kids are having just a great time, and this is one of many grad nights obviously being celebrated across America all this week for our seniors that are moving on into the college ranks.
And your son is Seth.
Yes.
And he is 18. He's moving on to Moore Park Junior College?
Seth will be attending Moore Park for 2 years, and then will eventually transfer to a 4-year. And he made this big announcement to us on Sunday night, and I was sort of like, what's this about? And he said he wants to move out and get an apartment before he starts the fall semester at Moore Park. And,
okay.
You know, I looked at my husband as if to say, what's this about? And, of course, I knew.
Yeah.
And we both knew.
What was it?
Well, he started seeing this new girl early this past semester. She just arrived at the school as a senior. She's 18, his age. She's a little bit worldly for her age.
Yeah.
She's blonde. You know, I don't approve of the way she dresses. I don't approve of the way she has this sort of proprietary look on her face, you know, when she's around my son. And
she's seen. When you say proprietary, what do you mean?
Well, she looks at me, and she's looking at me, by the way, through these thick mascara eyelashes. Mothers really need to show their daughters how to apply makeup. But she looks at me as if she's saying, he's mine now, and you're not, you know, you're not the mother any longer. And, you know, when some girl comes into the life of your son, and Seth is my first, and suddenly she thinks she's going to take over a life that you built. I built that boy's life with my bare hands. I nursed him when he was sick. I took care of him. I don't know about other mothers, but I can assure you that no girl is going to talk to my son and talk him into getting an apartment, moving in with her, and so on before my time with my son is up. And I told this little bitch, I said,
no, wait a minute. You don't want your son to see this girl, or you don't want your son to move out. Which is it?
Seth is not ready to move out. He has never mentioned moving out until this Saxon came along. This is the girl's name. She started latching onto him, and of course, you know, it's always for the good times. Seth has a beautiful new Mustang. We've told friends you can come over, use the pool, use the cabana. We have an in-home theater. But I do not approve of this slut. I don't want the slut. And
Are you talking about this girl, she's the slut?
Absolutely.
Why do you call her a slut?
Well,
I mean, has she done something that causes you to feel she isn't right for your son?
You know, it wasn't too long ago, Phil. As I said, I was bathing that boy in a bathroom sink. I nursed him through colds and bronchitis. And when he cried, it wasn't the slut that was there. It was...
Can we use maybe another word for this girl?
Well, you know, she wasn't there. It was me. It was Mommy. And, you know, I don't talk with my husband about this. And you know why? Because boys are never going to be... Men don't have a comprehension of this. Boys are never going to be closer with another woman than they are with their mother. And I've got a very, very strong bond with Seth, and I really get a kick out of these people like Dr. Phil. He's always going on about neurotic mother-son relationships. He talks about women who show off for their son's friends as if it makes the mother a slut. I look good in a bathing suit. I'm not ashamed of that. And when he has his friends over, they've commented that they think I'm pretty, and it's all in good fun.
All right, well, there's a lot of good things going on here. You don't want your son to move out because why? Because it's not...
I am not ready to have him move out. I am not ready. I don't have to compete with some young girl that acts for all the world like God's own slut. And he is...
All right, there's a lot of anger going on here, Bobby, having to do with your son, having to do with this girl.
It doesn't have anything to do with the girl. I'm his mother. And there is no closer relationship in the world than between a boy and his mother. Now comes blank, the blank. And
you're talking about this Saxon girl.
Yes. But you don't want me to call her that, so now comes the S-L, And
all right, I understand.
All right, and so anyway, now he wants to move out. He's 18 years old.
Well, technically, when you're 18, you can move out. Let me give our phone number out, Bobby. I'm talking with Bobby Dooley. What is it with young people, a lot of kids are moving out later and later in this kind of period of life that we're in, 26, 27, 28. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Talking with Bobby Dooley. I know your husband Steve will be along.
He is right now. Yeah, he's with the kids. They're going on Colossus, and he's doing some of the rides with them. But I am a little bit depressed tonight because this does represent a change. It does represent a moving on. You talk about the kids moving out when they're 28 as if that's somehow bad.
I find that a little. I don't think a kid should be hanging around.
Let me tell you something, Phil. Kids have it very tough now. It's tough to get a job. It's tough to go to college and make ends meet. It's better that they live at home. And it's also better for them to stay. I'm not ready to let go of my boy. And
can I ask you something, Ms. Dooley? And you're not the first mother that I've heard say that you're not ready to let go of your boy. Doesn't that sound a little bit neurotic?
No, not at all.
Why not?
Well, what do you mean it sounds neurotic?
Well, you mentioned that we're very close, and no girl could ever.
No woman is ever going to take the place of mother. And I know it sounds a little bit hokey, and I know you've heard it said before.
Well, that's what I mean. It does sound a little hokey, and it sounds a little,
A little what? I mean, the fact of the matter is that...
look, he needs to be a man, doesn't he?
He is a man. He is 18 years of age.
Well, but I don't want to argue with you, Ms. Dooley.
Well, Phil, the facts are these. You're not a mother. You're a father. Fathers do not have a comprehension of this like mothers do. Seth is my firstborn. And along comes this girl with her long blonde hair and these breasts and legs and all of the things. And
well, maybe it's about sex. Maybe the guy wants to have some privacy. And
you know something, Phil, as I'm going to say something right now. This is so meaningful to me and so important to have him stay with me until I feel that it's time for him to go. That if it is about sex, and this is how important it is for a mother, and you aren't a mother, so you have to understand. Other mothers will understand this. If it's about sex, and please understand, you're not a mother, so you won't.
All right.
You won't grasp this, but if it's about sex, I am certainly willing to provide.
Oh my God!
No, Phil, please.
What are you talking about?
I'm simply saying, I don't want to do that. But mothers understand, if all it is about sex, then I can provide that, and I don't want to. And
you're considering having sex with your own son to...
No, I said, no, it is... I'm saying that if it came down to that, and the only reason why he wanted to move out, it's something that men don't understand.
But mothers do.
Yes.
So if I said to the mothers of America right now, you understand it when Bobby says that if the son wants to move out simply to have sex, you'd be willing to provide it?
I didn't say that.
Well, you're hinting at it.
I'm saying to save his life. It's about saving my boy's life. He moves out, Phil, and I'm sorry you don't like the word, but it is entirely appropriate. He moves out and moves in with the slut. And there isn't a doctor or a free clinic up and down the West Coast, and by God, they've got the experience because we lived through the 60s. There isn't enough penicillin. There aren't enough nurses.
All right, so you are convinced that this woman is promiscuous, that she is using him for his money?
Absolutely. But, Phil, it doesn't make her any different from any other girl. When these, forgive me again, Phil, but when these sluts get their mud hooks into our sons, what they want to do...
Well, hold on for a minute, Ms. Dooley. Every girl that comes along and shows an interest in your son is not a slut, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So can we say that every girl that comes along, it may not be destructive, it may even be good for your son?
No, that is not correct.
Why not?
No girl who wants a boy to leave his mother is a good girl. It just is.
What if he's 30, 35?
Phil, when the boy is ready to leave home, I will know. A mother knows her children. Only a mother knows what is best for her son. And
what if he's 40 and you still don't think he should move out?
Oh, my God. Steve.
Well, let's try to give him a little bit of credit.
Give me some credit.
All right. How long do you figure it'll be before he moves out?
I don't know. All I know is that when the sluts show, and I'm sorry you don't like the word, Phil.
Every woman that you're talking about that would show interest in your son, Ms. Dooley, is a potential slut. And you mentioned...
Look, the venereal diseases that we know about are bad enough, but doctors are identifying strains every day. And I will be, Phil, I will be damned if I'm going to watch my son slowly die from syphilitic dementia because he wouldn't listen to his mother.
So this is what it's come to.
What?
You're saying that your son, by moving out at the age of 18 and getting his own apartment, he runs the risk of dying from syphilitic dementia.
Yes, absolutely, because of what these girls...
And even if it's a good girl who has not engaged in any kind of promiscuity to the point of disease, being disease-ridden...
Look, Phil, she's going to hurt him in other ways. She's going to work him to death. She's going to want a baby right away. She's going to want him to attend social functions and social situations that may not be right for him. I raised that boy.
I understand that you're upset.
No, I don't think you really do understand. Only a mother understands. I raised that boy. I bathed him. I clothed him. And now all of a sudden he wants to move out.
He is 18 and it is legal.
I don't care if it's legal. It's wrong. Until I'm ready to let that boy go, no woman with bleached hair, oh my God, you can see the roots, and the breast enlargement or enhancement that her mother obviously allowed, and ears pierced at 10, and all of it.
My wife is upset right now.
I understand, Mr. Dooley. I'll let her take a break here. 1-800-449-8686. Ms. Dooley here. Her son is leaving home at the age of 18. She doesn't feel she doesn't feel she's ready for him to leave, and she says any woman that comes along and tries to take her son from her is a slut, or at least is trying to manipulate him. A lot of kids aren't moving out till 27, 28 years of age. Maybe they're not moving out because it's right for them to stay home, that their mothers need them there. 1-800-449-8686. The world-famous Phil Hendry Show will be back in just a moment.
Phil Hendry Show, 1-800.
You guys with me?
Yeah, Phil, we're right here. Steve is going to go over on Colossus, and I just came over a little bit closer with him right now. And I have...
Okay, I just wanted to get back to our conversation with Bobby Dooley, Western Estates Parent-Teacher Organization, about her son Seth, who is moving out at the age of 18, which is very upsetting to you. And I understand, the separation.
Well, it's more, I think too many mothers, Phil, give up their relationship with their sons. They just say, okay, you're 18, you can leave the house now. I don't know how any woman can do that. I do know there are a lot of women that have a problem with their sons because their sons remind them of men who broke their hearts. A lot of boys remind their mothers of the father that they may not be with. And so a lot of women have serious issues with their sons, and as a result, do something terribly destructive. They push the boy out of the nest just as soon as he turns 18. And
see, I always thought that was a healthy thing.
No, it's not. It is generally something you don't want to do. And I find a lot of this to be troubling.
Okay, you need to move away from that coaster.
I'm sorry. I'm going to walk over here, Phil, to the, there's a concession over here. I'm sorry.
So your husband's out on that now?
We walked over here with me. I don't know if you heard him. He did yell. He said he would say hi as he went by. A lot of women destroy their boys and turn them into alcoholics, drug abusers, sexual predators, even pedophiles as a result.
I'm still hearing that.
I'm sorry. A lot of women turn their sons into drug abusers, sexual pedophiles, and the like, as the result of pushing them out of the nest. That's not going to happen to my son, Seth. Now, I spent the weekend at the library. I have been able to identify 13 different venereal diseases that, I guess that's...
You know what you're going to need to do, Bobby, is maybe get into an office, okay? You were saying you've identified 13 different venereal diseases?
Yes, 13 different venereal diseases that my son can acquire as the result of moving in with this girl. And a lot of these mothers who, they can't wait for their daughters to get out into the world and to sink their hooks into a beautiful boy like my Seth. And that's the other thing. A lot of these mothers are culpable.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Bobby Dooley, if you hear a roller, you're at Magic Mountain with the grad night kids. Here is Kathy. Kathy, you're on the Phil Hendry Show with Bobby and Steve Dooley. Go ahead.
Hi.
Yes.
I am absolutely appalled by the position that you're taking on this. You have brought a child. You have brought a child into this world. If you are so frightened about the way he leads his life, it's a reflection on you that you brought him up in a way that you seem to think he's disrespectful. And I am just appalled that you have never understood Khalil Gibran. You do not know that children come through you, that they're not your possession.
Well, I know who you're talking about, Khalil Gibran. He's a Lebanese.
Please, let's not get into that.
Who had some ties to terror organizations.
You're thinking of Peter Gabriel.
No, I'm not thinking of Peter Gabriel. I'm talking about Khalil. Didn't you say Khalil Gibran?
Oh, my God. Okay. I'm not going to argue. Listen.
Peter Gabriel's not from Lebanon, so I don't know what you're thinking of. Khalil Gibran was Lebanese.
Would you just be quiet a moment?
Well, I was responding to your comment.
Well,
only the mother of a son really understands where I'm coming from. Do you have sons?
I do not have a son.
All right, then I
have
hardly see where you can speak about this.
You want to raise a mama's boy?
Kathy, if you have daughters, you are the kind of mother that sends those women predatory-like into the world to put their hooks into a young man, get him to father children too early.
There's something very wrong with the view of the world.
You know what I'm saying now.
I don't. I did not raise daughters to go put hooks in men.
In a very predatory fashion to get them to...
Well, wait a minute. Kathy's trying to say that let's take this case by case, Bobby.
I mean, don't you raise children? Don't you raise children?
Of course I do. I build men.
To make a good world?
I build men. I don't build boys.
You sound like you're building the biggest mama's boy around. And if this child of yours wants to leave home at 18, that's a reflection on you.
Kathy, what gives you the right to talk to me about having a son, loving a son, when you don't have one?
What gives you the right to talk about somebody that is a slut and a this and a that?
Because these sluts come into our boys' lives with one interest. Why? To give them venereal disease. To give them venereal disease.
Everybody out there that's a sexually liberated person runs that risk. If they're not smart and you don't teach them to be smart, they will get disease.
Well,
you apparently haven't taught them to be smart.
No, he is being smart. He's staying away from the slut.
Apparently not is what you're saying.
All right, Kathy, thank you for the call. 1-800, I believe what the caller is trying to say, but...
No, I know what she's saying. She's the mother of 3 girls. Still, I can add 2 plus 2 equals 4. And for that woman... It's wrong for anybody to say that.
All right, you are very close to some of the amusements there, Ms. Dooley. 1-800-449-8686, so we're going to need for her to move away from that. We'll be right back, and we also have more of Bobby Dooley and her son Seth moving out at the age of 18, far before the time she's ready for him to move out. Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show, 1-800-449-8686. The Whore. 1-800-449-8686. The Phil Hendry Show is back.
Bobby Dooley and Steve Dooley are with me. Actually, they're at a grad night at Six Flags tonight with a bunch of high school seniors. Their son, Seth, is moving out. This has caused some consternation. And you say it's reflective, Bobby, of consternation in many American families where they don't want their kids to leave home right away, even though they're 18, that they want the kids to stay there, especially your son.
Well, Phil, we have published a fact sheet that we do pass out at our grad nights to parents and also at our high school on the best possible ways to protect your son from venereal disease that these young girls will try to infect him with in order to...
When you say...
No, I just spoke with a lady on the phone that had 3 daughters. She knows full well that the average American woman teaches her daughter, A, find a man in the name of everything holy and everything that you hold sacred before God and all of the pantheon of gods that the Romans and Greeks worship to. Find a man. Don't be an old maid. That's number 1. Number 2, venereal disease is a horrible, horrible thing, but it doesn't necessarily get him to leave you. It bonds him to you in many ways.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm a parent. Now, we have, first of all, our advice is don't allow these young ladies, if your son insists on bringing it into the house.
Why do you call it an it?
I don't have a lot of respect for these young girls that want to sink their mud hooks into my son. But if he brings it into the house, don't let it use the bathroom or the family bathroom facility. You will pick something up from the toilet seat. And
you know, Ms. Dooley, not only is what you're saying, I don't think, correct. You don't get venereal disease from a toilet seat.
Well, the jury is out on that. And
no, the jury is not out on that. You do not...
The other thing, if I can finish... May I finish?
Ms. Dooley, it is a wrong...
May I finish?
Go ahead.
You need to tell the girl she needs to show you a copy of her last physical. I know it sounds ridiculous.
Come on.
No, I know it sounds ridiculous. But if she doesn't have one, the mother of that boy has the right to check her out. Now, I asked this girl to accompany me into our bathroom at our house so that I could give her a physical checkout. She refused. She told me that I was, that's what I mean.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. We heard the roller coaster there.
I'm sorry, Phil. It's a very active night here. And
but if you can move away from some of those louder amusements, I'd appreciate it. 1-800-449-8686. Bobby Dooley, whose son is leaving home at 18. A lot of kids stay home until they're 28, so she feels he is not ready to leave home, and it's really some predatory girl who's doing it. Ivy, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm infuriated by this woman. She needs true help.
I need help.
Yeah, and you need to let me finish because you've been saying what you have to say, so please let me finish. You stated that if it was about him leaving home for sex, that you would provide that. I am a mother of a son, okay?
Well, I said as a last resort.
That is disgustingly perverse. And I wouldn't doubt it if you've not done it before. This is your whole problem. You need to seek psychological help. And your husband is not very supportive if he's going to support you in these acts.
Well, I don't see how you qualify.
Were you a slut when you and your husband got together?
I most certainly was not.
Okay, then what gives you the right to call every other female that's under your age a slut, or even that's pursuing your son a slut?
You know as well as I do that these mothers are teaching their daughters to go... Did you have venereal disease when you got pregnant?
No, ma'am, I did not.
All right, well...
Did you?
I find it hard to believe, but...
Why did you?
Did I?
Yes.
I had gone to Mexico with my senior class.
Because you were infested with gonorrhea or some other venereal disease, and you were probably a slut in your younger years.
I beg your pardon.
Call every other woman a slut.
I beg your pardon.
Now, let me finish, because you have infuriated me along with hundreds of other people.
You have no right to call me that.
Truly a sick person.
I went to Mexico with a senior class varsity football team. I was not supposed to go. My mother told me not to do it.
All right, so in other words, what? What are you telling us? That you had good parenting and you ignored it?
Yes.
Saying that your son needs to ignore you and move as far away from you as possible.
I'm giving him good parenting, and he's ignoring it, too. He wants to move in with it.
But you know what? How do you know this girl has this female, this other thing that you're calling a slut and an it? How do you know that she has venereal disease? How do you know that she won't be the best thing that ever walked into your son's life?
Ivy, a mother knows her son better than any woman
ever. I have a son, and yes, I do know that. But you know what? I cannot replace the love of his life. I cannot replace 5 or 6 slings he might have before he finds that.
You know, someday some girls...
I will never try. I will never try a psychotic, overbearing mother like you are.
I bet you hired some poor young man to impregnate you just so you wouldn't be lonely.
Now listen to you. Listen how pathetic you're being.
Oh, come on, ladies.
No, I'm listening to this.
You're being extremely pathetic.
I'm being pathetic.
No, listen, you were driving your son away. You you know how embarrassing that would be if he heard you say that you would have sex with him? Do you know how far
we have had open
drive your son away?
Have you talked to your son about this?
We've had open conversations about it, yes.
You're going to drive him so far away from you that he will never see you again.
No, I said to him simply, if it's just about the sex, darling, I'll provide it for you. And you know what he called me? He called me a filthy thing. And
yeah, that is a filthy thing.
How dare any boy say that to his mother? You know, I find it...
Well, look at that. You shocked the hell out of that boy. No wonder he said that. No wonder he wants to move out.
How traumatizing that is?
No boys respect their mothers anymore.
Let me say something.
I almost died giving birth to him.
You were worried about... You were worried about some slut, quote unquote, taking your son away from you.
Oh, Ivy, you talk about...
your son, so far away.
You know what? I bet you've had more swabs than drinks of water.
Trust me.
Well, I just think you're wrong, and
I think you're wrong, and hundreds of other people think that you're extremely wrong. And
oh, really? Have you talked to all of them?
For the issues that you need to address.
Well, you know something? I bet you've had more swabs than drinks of water. Thank you.
Don't know.
Oh, my
How
God.
can you judge me like that? You're putting your
oh, you think you know everything? Well, you've got a little tiny boy.
Laundry.
You know, you don't. You know something?
You don't know. I have not told you.
All right, ladies.
I have not told you one thing about my personal life, and you have no reason to degrade me like that. You, on the other hand, have.
Absolutely, I agree with her.
Like a sick human being. You need help.
You know what? Here's what I've got to say to you.
That was really mature. Really mature.
Pathetic. And you are going to push your son away. That's the bottom line.
Can I ask you a question?
You want to push your son away.
I love my boy.
I have the right to say this.
I love my boy.
I am in my 3rd year of psychology, okay? I'm going to be a psychologist, and I know...
Well, thank you, Dr. Phil.
Help.
Thank you, Dr. Phil. That was really nice.
No, I'm not Dr. Phil, but you know what? You do need to talk to a doctor, a professional doctor.
My husband wants to know... What is it, honey?
Strong medication.
My husband wants to know if your baby has one of those big
I've been happily married for 3 years, okay?
Can I ask you something? Isn't it happy hour?
I was married before I had sex. You know nothing about me.
I'm getting back on the roller coaster.
You will never know anything
Isn't it happy hour yet?
My husband, who will never know anything about me.
All right, Ivy, I want to apologize for some of the comments that were made to you, Ivy. And Ms. Dooley, I would...
No, you don't understand.
No, hold on. I would ask you to hold your tongue on personal comments. And you made some very good points. And Ms. Dooley, to be candid, I don't think you've answered too many questions. And other very personal things. All right, thank you very much, Ivy.
You're welcome.
1-800-449-8686.
Phil, I almost died giving birth to Seth. And for you and your callers to want him to leave me.
Ms. Dooley, you have said that you'll consider having sex with your son if that's what it's about. Don't you understand that that is very sick? Now, many times... All right, can you move away from...
Yeah, I'm moving off to side.
All right, let's go to Jackie. Hi, you're on the Phil Hendrie Show, Jackie.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I can only remember Seth's name. I don't know his mother's name.
My name is Bobby.
Bobby. Well, my name is Jackie, and I'm calling from Seattle, Washington. And I listen to the Buzz all the time. I love the show. And, you know, I can understand you not wanting your son to move out. Nobody wants their children to leave home, especially if you love them. I have 6 children. Out of the 6 children I have, 4 of them are boys, 2 are girls. And I have raised my children very responsibly. And they are all very responsible adults.
Can I interrupt for a minute here, Jack? Why did you say, Bobby, that you were sorry to hear she had 6 kids?
No, she said she had 2 girls, and I just wanted to say my condolences to her for having the girls.
Do you have a problem with girls?
Well, Jackie, this is what we've been talking about. Mothers today raise their daughters to immediately go into the world and sink their hooks into the first young boy that comes along.
Well, I have 2. I have not raised mine that way. One did not get married until she was in her mid-20s. She was a virgin when she got married.
And they have regular physicals? Do they have regular physicals?
Yes, they do. My youngest is a girl, and she's 17.
And she gets a regular swab? And
yes.
Do we have to talk about this?
But, you know, my daughters do not go out and screw boys. And I find it very unfortunate that you have this feeling that all the young women in this world are out there to screw your son and to give him venereal disease.
Have any of your, and I don't mean to insult you, have any of your daughters had abortions?
No.
Okay. Well, then we don't have a problem.
No. My oldest daughter has a set of beautiful, identical twins.
Steve,
and she was married 3 years before she even got pregnant.
Steve, you're looking blue. Get off the roller coaster. My husband is on a marathon roller coaster with the high school seniors. He has already vomited.
I'm sorry?
My husband's vomited on the roller coaster, so we have to get him.
Oh. Maybe you could take him in back. The way you would like to your son.
I beg your pardon?
I mean, what kind of sick person are you if you want to have sex with your own child?
I said to him exactly what any mother would say to a boy. If it's just about sex...
You would have sex with him?
Well, my God, do you want him to move out just so he can bed some thing in the night?
Well, what makes you think that's why he wants to move out, so he can have sex? If you raise him...
It's the only reason why boys leave their...
Will you get that guy off the roller coaster? I've been listening to him puke and scream for the last half hour.
You let that woman say that word.
We dumped the word, ma'am. Get him off the roller coaster.
He's been on it now for, let's see, that's 300 times. So they're approaching the Magic Mountain record. I'm so proud of him.
Okay. I am. First of all, were we able to get that lady's? She said the D word. And I appreciate Jackie, but you can't say it out on the radio. All right. Anyway, that was Bobby and Steve Dooley. He's trying to break the roller coaster record on Colossus or something. He's vomited 4 times, but he ain't getting off. 1-800-449-8686. It's the Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry.
What he's doing is he blows a... Hello?
Blows what?
Oh, will you guys leave me alone? On the line, Mr. Brad Rifkin in Las Vegas, Nevada tonight. And Mr. Rifkin, how are you, sir?
Well, Phil, I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me on your program. I get a big kick out of listening to you here in Las Vegas.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rifkin, you're in the advertising business. You also have opened up a line of sports merchandise. Is that correct?
Well, it's not a large line of sports merchandise, Phil, but we are excited about one of our products, which is a fight bag, speed bag, and we're also excited, Phil, and we're also very proud to announce that of every dollar made through the sale of our Trina sports bag, we are going to donate 25 cents to domestic abuse, domestic violence outreach programs to help families that are affected by this very terrible disease, this very terrible syndrome.
That's a very commendable goal, and you are, I take it, at a gym right now?
I am, Phil. I'm at a place called Brock's Gym. It's in North Las Vegas.
Tell me about this bag, why it's unique, why you have this tie-in with domestic abuse.
Phil, I got the idea for the Trina speed bag. My wife's name is Trina, who I love very much. In fact, I can't even imagine my life without her. She's the best woman I've ever met, and she's put up with a lot. Trina and I went through a very difficult period, and I got the idea for the Trina speed bag when I was working out myself. I do not fight professionally, but I do enjoy boxing for fitness. I also like to go watch it. What I did is I took a regular speed bag. For people who don't know what a speed bag is,
yeah, let's explain. It's the little round thing the guys.
Yeah, you speed on it. You're using your fists. You're using your gloved hands to hit this bag that is slightly elevated. It gives you coordination. It allows you to have quicker hands, hand-eye coordination, that thing.
Okay, the little tiny bag that's hanging. It looks like a tonsil.
Yeah, it looks like, that thing that hangs in your throat or whatever. But anyway, so that kind of took my mind off. Now I'm thinking about having my mouth open.
Never mind. Go ahead.
So the Trina speed bag, I took a regular speed bag, and what I did is I was able to affix to it a plastic sleeve. And inside that sleeve, I would put a picture of my wife, Trina. And I would go to the gym with this bag, and I would hang the bag up. And then I would see her. And please understand, I love my wife very much, but at this particular time I was having problems with her. And we were involved in domestic violence.
Okay. Were you arrested?
Yes, I was.
Wow.
So in order to break myself of that syndrome, if I wanted to smack her or hit her, whatever you want to call it, I would go down with a Trina speed bag, I'd hang it up, and I'd see her. There's that face, you know, and I'd go to work on it. And I found that it gave me some release.
Were you imagining that you're hitting her, or?
Well, you are. What I had done is I had tried to alter the bag. This sounds a little ridiculous, but I tried to alter the bag using, I would paint eyes on it. I got a picture of my wife, and I took it over to a friend of mine who's an artist, and I said, paint the bag to look like her.
It must be emotional, huh?
Very emotional, yeah.
So he painted the bag so it was her face?
Yeah, and it's ridiculous, but we got some hair, like a wig, and we put a wig on it. So I would take this down, and I would really lay into it. It turned out it was not a good idea because the paint got smeared and the wig flew off. Instead, I invented this sleeve.
So just to interrupt you, so you're imagining yourself pounding on your wife is what you're...
Well, you are, but you're not really pounding on her. You're not beating her up. You're beating into this bag with her face right there, and so you're really going to it. And I also found, as I went around and I talked to other men that have this problem, you could insert anyone's picture in there. So what happened was this took off not just as a way of dealing with domestic violence, but also dealing with a child who comes home with a bad report card. If you've got a picture of your daughter or your son, you can put it in the bag, and you can really beat the Jesus.
Do you find yourself getting angry?
Well, yeah, I remember moments, you know, when my daughter came home, she had an F on something. And my daughter's not stupid, and when she comes home with Fs, I know she's in class just goofing around. So I said, really, an F? That's great. And I got out of the house as fast as I could. Otherwise, I know there was going to be some damage done. So I went down to the gym. I got out a picture of my daughter, and it was actually a picture of her laying on a little rug that we took when she was a baby, a little nude baby shot. And the reason why I used that picture is because my daughter, who I love, is, you know, getting Fs, and yet she wants the whole world to think she's so cute. And there it is, and I just, oh, man, would I love her. You know, and...
Well, you're hitting the bag with a picture of your daughter as an infant.
That's correct, yes. And so anybody, it can be a boss, or you may not have a picture, and that's why we use the plastic insert. You can put a picture of your, for instance, I'll give you an example. My grandmother, I don't have a problem with her at all, but she just continues to live. And the reason why I said...
What is, I mean, all right, I just want to interrupt here. I'm talking with Mr. Brad Rifkin. He has a product called the Trina Speedbag. What is wrong with your grandmother again?
There's nothing wrong with it, Phil. I'm just telling you something personal for me. She's always on the phone. She always needs something, and that's fine, and I'm always over there. I'm over at my grandmother's house at least probably 3-4 times a week, getting her something. Or, this pipe broke. And I'm like, is that right? That's too bad, Grandma. And I'll go down with the Trina Speedbag. I got a picture of my grandmother, and I tried to find the most pruned-up looking, just something that says, I can't even find the words of the thing that I want to say.
Well, Mr. Rifkin, with all due respect, it sounds as if you have a difficult time expressing yourself verbally as opposed to using this speed bag.
Well, I do, but let me tell you something. A couple of jabs to the Trina speed bag. Sometimes all it takes is just one good roundhouse. What I do is I take my grandmother's picture and I put it in there and I go, watch this. And I come around with a right hand, and I almost knock that bag right off the hook. I mean, I almost put that bag because, and then a couple of headbutts too, because sometimes it's not even enough to hit it with your fist. And there was one night that I was injured, and we have a notice to the bag, don't headbutt it, because what happened was I tried to headbutt it when I had a picture of my grandmother in it, because hitting it wasn't enough. And I spit on it. I did everything, and then I headbutted it, and the bag flew off, and I hit the wall. So,
oh God.
Yeah. But we're doing very well with it.
Can I ask you something?
You know, and the other thing is, the other thing you want to do with it is, if the fists aren't enough, you can take. I went down one night with some fishing line. I had about an 8-pound test fishing line, just razor sharp, and I wanted to wrap. And I put my wife's picture in it, and I wrapped the fishing line around it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. But you can do this with this bag. And what you do is you put the picture in, and then you wrap fishing line around it, and you spit at it, and then you box the ears, left, right. You're just doing ear shots, you know, because what you can imagine is the blood coming out of the nose when you do. See, I'm sorry.
Well, we're getting into some specifics that I don't need.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I don't need to hear this. What I'm hearing from you is you developed the Trina Speed Bag to deal with your problem of violence towards your wife and towards your family.
That is correct, yes, sir, and I love my family very much.
All right. And that's fine as long as you're not hit. You have no more problems being physically abusive to your family?
None whatsoever, sir, no.
So I can't find any fault. It just sounds to me like you've got a lot of issues there.
I love my family, but when they start in, when my wife starts in, you got this advertising business. You said it was going to be this and that. I said, boy, there you go again. There it goes. There's the mouth. I knew it was only a matter of time. So I'll take off for hours, and she'll say, you done with that speed bag again? I said, it's better to speed bag than a coroner's report tomorrow morning, and you're at the top line. See what I'm saying? So.
Oh, boy. I mean, you do have a...
I've got an anger issue. What do you think I did the bag for? What do you think, I'm just doing this for kicks? I don't do anything for jollies. I do stuff to change what is everything what is, see? And that's why I do it.
All right, let's take a break here. We're talking with Mr. Brad Rifkin. The Trina Speed Bag is a speed bag that they use in boxing, and you can put the picture of your wife or your daughter, in his case his grandmother, and just go to work on it. If you've got an issue with them. He did try having the bag painted to look just like his wife. Anyway, it's a lot of the money is going toward domestic abuse resource and agencies that help that way. Our number is 1-800-449-8686. World-famous Phil Henry Show.
Phil. The Phil Henry Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
Sure, Brad Rifkin joins me from Las Vegas, Nevada. He is the owner of a sports line called the Trina Speed Bag. Every dollar they make with the sale of the Trina Speed Bag goes to domestic abuse, domestic violence outreach. And we got a couple of calls, Mr. Rifkin, but I wanted to just ask you, this is a product that is used by men primarily, right?
Well, no, women can use it too, but most of the people that we make our sales to are men.
But this is designed to allow someone to express some physical violence against an individual without it being the individual.
Yeah, I would say that, but I just want to say it's better to do it to a bag than a real person, don't you think? I mean...
Well, yeah, but you're talking about wrapping fishing line around it and spitting on it and headbutting it. All right, let's go to Lloyd. Go ahead.
Is that me, sir?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Phil. I am enjoying your broadcast. My question is to the gentleman.
Yes, sir.
Do the bags come in different colors and sizes? Is my immediate question for you, and I'll hang up and listen.
The bags do, if I knew what the gentleman wanted.
Well, the thing that I wanted...
Wait, I thought you were going to hang up and listen.
Well, I guess I didn't, did I? I guess I'm still here.
No, I would answer the gentleman's...
hold on for a minute. What is that supposed to mean?
No, you said you'd hang up and listen.
Isn't that what people say?
Who?
The people that call talk shows.
Then they hang up and they listen. But if you wanted an answer, why would you hang up and listen?
Can I hang up and listen to the answer?
Yes, but then you're still talking to me.
You got a hard-on for me or something?
No, come on. Just give answer his question, will you?
Well, gentlemen, if you just calm down for a minute.
No, I want to know if the bag comes in different colors and sizes.
Yes, we can, sir. Can you ask me what it is that you need? We can. Speed bags are regulation size. You have to understand.
Well, I don't need it to be that much larger. Just a little bit larger. If I sent you a photograph of the individual, could you make the bag that individual's head size?
Well, he's saying that it's for pictures.
But the bag has the bag has a plastic sleeve.
No, I understand. I don't even need that. I just need something that I can use my imagination with.
And well, tell me how large you need it. Do you know?
The head size of this person is fairly significant, and I want the bag to be black. I want the bag to be black. The bag to be black. And
if the head size is this is a larger bag.
Yes, sir, and the bag should be black.
So is the person a black person?
Yes, sir, it is. And I don't know that.
Well, is it someone you know or someone?
Well, it's someone my wife is constantly watching on television, and I have grown to hate her, really in a way that I find remarkable. I don't even hate. I fought for this country in Korea, and I didn't hate the enemy as much as I hate this one.
So, I'm curious.
Yeah, I am. Who is it?
Well, it's the woman, the Winfrey woman. So if I sent you a copy of O magazine, if you could get a big black bag about the size of her head.
Well, you don't want her face drawn on or anything.
No. Just a big one, and I'll beat the hell out of that. I can tell you that. I'll probably have to come in for another one. I'll probably need a new big black bag a week.
Well, sir, I can tell you, I don't know about how big you want it. Speed bags are regular size. We do have black bags, though.
You want to beat the hell out of Oprah Winfrey, huh?
Yes, I do. And I don't know how that's any business of yours. You're the gentleman who was giving me a hard time about hanging up and listening.
Well, you didn't hang up and listen. When you said you're going to hang up and listen, then you hang up and listen, okay?
You're talking to a Korean War veteran, okay? And for all of the pain and suffering, I got to come home and look at Oprah staring back at me with her hair pulled back, that big face. Jesus.
Well, no, I understand, sir.
How soon can you keep me resupplied?
All right, you need a bag a week, a big black bag a week. Great, fine. Hang up and we'll...
Listen, you turd, what? All right, let's go to it.
Let's go to another phone call here. 1-800-449-8686. Justin, go ahead. Justin?
Oh, hi. I wanted to ask the man if you can make the bag look like my brother if I brought a picture of my brother.
No, see, we don't make the bags look anything.
Yeah, the bags are not painted. That's what he tried to do, but you got to put a picture in.
Oh, you put a picture in it?
Yes, sir. You put a picture in the front of the bag. It looks like somebody.
Well, if can you make the bag flat in the front or anything like that?
Flat in the front?
What do you need it for?
My younger brother has panfacism, and he always gets a lot of attention from my parents.
What is panfacism? You're talking about Down syndrome?
I think he's talking about Down syndrome.
Well, yeah, but
what do you mean panfacism?
Well, it's almost like it's a philosophy. It's like it's not even something that he was born with. I think he believes in it, and he always gets attention. He's always playing for attention, and it makes me PO'd. So I was just wondering if you could flatten the bag in the front.
No, sir, I can't flatten the bag in the front.
Sir, that's called Down syndrome. It's not a philosophy. Those poor kids suffer from that. It is if they suffer at all, it is a prenatal fetal condition.
Excuse me, Mr. Henry, I don't mean to argue with you, but I'm the one that lives with the gloid, not you.
And I don't like the word gloid, and I don't like panfacism, and goodbye.
God, what a douchebag, man. That's too bad.
You're really taking a hard time tonight, aren't you?
Well, you know what, I suppose that this subject brings out the worst in people. RC, go ahead, you're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Mondo!
All right.
That's all the time we've got. Thank you very much.
Did that guy want to say something?
No, we hung up on him. Thank you very much, Mr. Rifkin, for coming on the program. The Trina Speed Bag, named after his wife Trina, and he just slides a picture of her in the front of that bag, and you go to work on it, huh, Brad?
Yeah, I wear out a few bags, man. I'll tell you that. The way her mouth goes.
Phil Hendry Show, 1-800-449.
Bud's outside. I think he has been on the paint again.
Teddy's from security. Bud is outside on the paint?
I think he is on it again.
Los Angeles on KFI AM 640. Hello.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Fine.
Hey, I was listening to the show, and I was pretty much all right with you, Chris. In the beginning, I was like, okay, I catch you smoking weed. I'd have been like, okay, well, don't smoke any more weed on my property. Go on and finish the work. If the work is up to standards, I'll pay for it. I'd have been a little angry with that. But, man, after you tell the rest of your story, buddy, you would have been lucky to get out of my house with your hide.
What are you talking about? I mean, they overreacted, you know it. They overreacted, you know it.
No, nobody overreacted. You're crazy, man. Let me tell you what, if I'd have walked in my house and caught you in my bed or heard telling you in my bed, with my robe, burn a hole in my robe, buddy, I would have been on you so bad you would have, matter of fact, they ought to sue you. They ought to sue you. They ought to sue you.
What, are you homosexual?
You're homosexual.
Are you homosexual?
Not hardly at all, buddy. I probably get more women than you ever will know, but let me tell you something. You fail to understand something, Chris. It's just a matter of simple common decency.
There are no victims here, man. That's all I'm saying. There were no victims here. I mean, I was the victim.
I understand why the radio was speechless. I'm almost speechless. You're the victim. Let me tell you something. You don't understand something about common decency, man. When you go to somebody's house, you have a work ethic. You go there to perform a task. You do the task.
That's right. I mean, what has this got to do with sleeping with a guy's wife and everything else? You're there to put in cabinets.
That's right.
All right, look, can I ask either one of you? You can answer, Mr. Henry. This gentleman. Do either one of you smoke weed?
I do not.
I have an occasion when I was younger, but it had nothing to do with work. I would never smoke it on my job.
Something happens to me. When I smoke weed, I just get good. I just get good.
Well,
I get a lot of women.
buddy, I mean, you're a clown. You're a joke. You're a discredit to your profession. And your behavior was egregious and atrocious, and you represent everything that nobody would want to have you around at all. If you can't see, hold on a minute, can I say something? If you can't see for yourself that coming to somebody's house, smoking pot in their house is bad enough, being in their jacuzzi, being in their hot tub, screwing the guy's wife, come on, man, you're lucky that guy didn't bust a cap in your butt.
All I'm saying is that when I smoke the weed, I perform sexually.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't perform nothing anymore. If I came in my house and caught you, I would have shot your butt.
Wait a second, man.